James Bond with a giant iPad.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, good evening everyone. This is Augustine from ACGPS, and today I hope to share with you details and tips, strategies on how you may want to write a good general paper essay paragraph. For many of us, writing a good general paper essay consists first and foremost of visualizing, recognizing how a good general paper essay looks like, and this is a sample available on our website of a good general paper essay. I written it myself. It's based on a 2007 A-level question number 8. The pen is mightier than a sword. Can written language really be so powerful? On your own time, you want to just visit our website and have a look at the entire essay. But in the interest of time and saving you a bit of effort, I will focus today on one of the paragraphs and demonstrate to you the various components of writing a good paragraph. So at the end of today's discussion, hopefully you would have a better understanding of paragraph structure and how each element of the PEL paragraph structure used in most colleges in Singapore can be carefully utilized. So to begin with, when you talk about PEL, point refers to the issue being discussed. What exactly are you saying inside the text? EL refers to elaboration, how the issue develops from prior events or interactions between different stakeholders, different interactions between institution society. EX refers to explanation and exemplification, which specific incident demonstrates the point, and L refers to why is it important. So for some people, remember that L is not just merely about repeating a point or topic sentence, it's about demonstrating the societal impact, the effect on society in the near or far future as well. So we'll look at each of these in turn, and hopefully we can see how it all comes together. The first part of a paragraph is points. Point is effectively what many teachers refer to as a topic sentence. It centers around two linked components, a cause and an effect. Ideally, your sentence has two clauses, and by having these two clauses in place, it helps set up the discussion, it helps you address the question, and also demonstrate the main point you're building out. So with this as a sample paragraph from our essay, you can see that the first sentence is the point or the topic sentence. Over here, I'll just label as number 1. You notice that there are two portions to it. Here you have the words bereft, right? Written language can be perceived as bereft of real power. And this is really answering the question in terms of addressing what the question is about. But apart from addressing the question, you notice that there is also an element of issue. How is it perceived as being bereft of influence, right? And this line is the key point. Okay, the observation of how written language merely provides false hopes and dashed dreams. So this portion over here is critical because this is effectively the cause portion of topic sentence. So for most teachers and colleges, your teachers actually advise you to write topic sentence within one line. Depending on the nature of the question, the nature of a point, sometimes it may be advisable, such in this case, to split it into two sentences. It will still work out well as long as you have both a cause and effect portion to your topic sentence. So this is the cause portion, and you notice the elaboration component will demonstrate the whole background to why this is the case. So we are done with the topic sentence, and when you look at elaboration, which is the second component of your paragraph development, you recognize that elaboration consists of you building up and sustaining the discussion from your topic sentence. And this is a portion where many students, unfortunately, may not have a good grasp of it, primarily because the concept of elaboration may not have been thoroughly discussed in class. So here, again, in the interest of time, we may not do every detail of it, but I hope to share with you some rudimentary developments and craft relating to this. So elaboration refers to how the issue is developed within society, and you can think of forming your elaboration, the sentence around it, with one or at least one or maybe a combination of some of these factors. Is it based on prior situation, what's happened beforehand, historical events for instance? Is it based on the mindsets of people? Is it based on actions, relationships or trends that people feel and have towards each other? So when you work on the elaboration component, be very mindful not to give specific details because that will come later in the exemplification portion. What you want to do, what you can do when it comes to the elaboration component is look at things from a more generic, from a more general perspective, so that it shows that you're looking at it across societies and that it is a universal kind of overview that you're providing. So on our sample, the third sentence over here demonstrates elaboration. Earlier on, I did mention that you want to consider the criteria of situation, mindset, action, relationship, and trend, SMART. So just remember that: situation, mindset, action, relationship, and trend. And you notice that for this sentence over here, I'll highlight it in green. A diverse range of incidents from history demonstrate how raw power triumphs over written language. So you notice over here, the word that is critical is incident. So when we say we use the SMT criteria, situation, mindset, action, relationship, trend, we do not mean that we use the words accurately and exactly as they are. You are thinking of words that revolve around the concept of these 5 criteria. So the word incident is very much centered on past situations, what has gone on before. And you notice that there's also the concept of how it is one particular relationship, in this case, power triumphing over written language. I could easily use other words to substitute for the concept triumphing. Written, raw political and military power overwhelming, for instance, written language, and this would also surface up equally well. So what this demonstrates is that if you have a good range of words along the SMT criteria, you could be using the same words for different essays and you will still have the same kind of outcome in giving a good elaboration. So remember, for elaboration, try to put insight at the tip of your mind, at the very least, a list of words that can be utilized to form the elaboration components. Alright, so far we have the elaboration done up, and what we want to look at after elaboration will be exemplification. So this portion requires hard work from the students, effort from yourselves to put in place examples that are from the real world, a specific event or incident. So details from real world events may cover either past historical events, if the question allows it, such as in this case, if the point enables you to do so, or it is, to be fair, better that you use examples from current events. Because of the dynamic nature of discipline general paper, and because of how trends and events are shifting quite frequently, my recommendation to students usually is that when you give examples, try to give examples within the past 1 to 2 years, because things shift quite a bit. Unless the historical example and ground it well in terms of the background condition and the contextual details, such as over here. So this question allows us to do it because I set it up early on in the elaboration component on history. And you notice that one way to build up your paragraph well is to ensure that even internally within each portion, from point to elaboration, from elaboration to exemplification, that you allude and you refer to the earlier discussion. So I did mention history early on over here, and you notice I linked it up again. So thus history instructs us well. So once I have this particular line in, then I give specific examples from the past, because that's the background information that I already have in place over here to form it up. Realistically, in real exam conditions, you may only want to put in one good example. But if you do have it, you must flesh it up. Over here, you notice I've given 2 examples to make the discussion clearer, to give it greater depth. So, depending on your own writing style, there are 2 options available. You can raise up and write a bit more on the elaboration, or in this case, you can beef up a bit more on the exemplification. So what you realize over here is that when it comes to this portion, by the time you get to the exemplification portion, it's about 3/4 completed. Hopefully your paragraph would reach the range of between 100 to 130, 140 words. So this is not exactly a number set in stone that you must do all the time, but it's a useful guideline on the basis that you're writing 4, maybe 5 full-body paragraphs. So based on time, you are taking about 10, maybe to the most 12 and a half, 15 minutes to write one paragraph like this in real time. So that's why this will actually be a good guideline to work with, 100 to 130 words. Okay, so technically, if you have written your paragraph at this point in time, points, elaboration, and simplification, the paragraph is more or less complete. But you must still address the question to reiterate your point. So the linkage portion is critical. And beyond just merely repeating your topic sentence, the whole concept of link must hopefully cover the projection of future outcomes as well. So based on this issue, how does it tell the story? What is the moral of the story? What does it do in terms of getting us to think more about the issue? Does it make us reflect more? Does it help us to understand the human condition, human nature more? And the sample over here demonstrates this. You notice that I did answer the question and reiterate the point. Power of written language has waned in the face of resistance by those most capable, but indifferent its possibilities. So this represents a link portion, and the evaluation is embedded somewhat in a subtle way over here. The concept of how it has waned, okay, meaning to say that it may no longer be fashionable. Is it that it is actually less relevant, at least in this particular situation? Okay, so hopefully by running through this simple discussion of paragraph structure with you, you have a better understanding of it. And to sum up for us, the paragraph structure, you do have 4 separate components: point, elaboration, exemplification, and link. And each component is an invitation to detailed writing. So hopefully by running through this today, we can carry on discussion in future. And in our next discussion, I will go in detail with you on how each of these components, elaboration especially, exemplification, and your link can pause our sample essay over here. Do feel free to visit our website, www.acgps.com.sg, and there are many resources already uploaded, so just click on the resources. This particular sample essay on the written language is on our first folder over here. Click on it and you can download a free PDF document courtesy of our website and our company, build up well as well. So if you are interested in knowing more about our course as well as maybe